All right, go ahead.
Okay, good morning. I'm really glad to be here today with you. Today I'd like to share with you two really big topics, reopening and the ministerial transition process that we have upcoming through the last half of this calendar year. This is a challenging time for all of us, but it's also a time of wonderful new opportunities and new directions. So first of all, I'd like to share with you a little bit about where we're at with reopening. First of all, our top two priorities as the board contemplates what's going to happen are, number one is the safety and health of the congregation and staff. And number two is maintaining a vibrant and engaging ministry focused on transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. So this requires connection and generating transformative group energy. Connection comes in many forms. We've already been doing many of them, including wellness calls, classes, live stream services, spirit groups, and our after-service Zoom call. But we also recognize that online connection doesn't meet the need of everyone, it meets the needs of some. We recently did a survey, thank you for those of you who participated in it. We found that about a third of our congregation are ready to return in person, and about 2/3 are wanting to wait until they perceive that it's a little more safe to do so. So as the board has considered our next step, we are considering both the Unity Worldwide recommendations and the governor's requirements for reopening of religious organizations. The governor's requirements include 17 compliance points, including having a comprehensive plan, social distancing, wearing masks, except for when we're very few and far apart like we are right now, and many other conditions that are not onerous but are there to be met. So the board and staff are working to pull all of that together and get those things in place. The current recommendation is that there not be any in-person youth ministry programs or choir rehearsals or performances at this time. But here's our next step. The board has made the decision to begin an outdoor Sunday Unplugged service that will begin within the next few weeks. This will include the talk and a longer meditation. And we feel we can do it outdoors because the likelihood of transmission of the virus is so much less. With cases of COVID-19 increasing significantly in our area right now, we're opting to wait to reinstitute indoor services, but we will continue our live streaming and our Zoom after conversation online. And the board, of course, will be frequently reevaluating this with the goal of offering indoor services as soon as it's safe. And also, our youth ministry team has begun to work on developing creative activities for children and youth and parents during this time. So that's where we're at with reopening at this point. The second question is, well, what's happening with the ministerial transition? So I wanted to give you a picture, first the big picture. Jane and Gary's final Sunday will be on December 13th, and our transition process will begin this fall. There will be an interim period. There is a Unity Worldwide practice of wanting congregations to take time between ministers, to have an interim period, both allowing them time to let go of the current ministers before re-engaging with a new one, and also just time to discern where we're at and where we want to be going. Because we've already done a good part of that work, the length of this interim period for us hopefully will be shorter than for many. We're hoping that we will be able to have a new minister in place within 6 months of when Jane and Gary retire. So that's the big picture. So here's what it means. As a mission-centric ministry, we invite you to join the board in our commitment to use this transition time to live ever more deeply into our mission of transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in this world. We will be forming a transition team to organize the retirement celebration for Jane and Gary and to oversee the entire transition process, the interim period. This team will be composed of the facilitators of various smaller teams that will be formed to assume distinct aspects of the ministerial responsibilities. We will also form a ministerial search team that will be responsible for the many tasks involved in finding the person who will be the best fit as our next minister. Starting this fall, volunteers will be needed in a variety of capacities. Their work may be online or it may be in person, depending on the circumstances at that time. So our next step in getting this process underway is that we will be having a virtual Zoom town hall meeting on August 2nd at 3 o'clock. And the link will be available by mid-July or soon thereafter. And at this meeting, you will have an opportunity to hear more details, to ask questions, to engage in a community discussion of these upcoming changes, both related to reopening and ministerial transition. So we hope you'll join us at that Zoom meeting. In the meantime, please feel free to contact me or any other board member with your wonderings, your concerns, or your questions. And I just send blessings to each and every one of you. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Joan. It's a lot to